Hi, thanks for reaching out. So I have some starting strategies for you to work on, and then we can go back and forth and have a conversation via email. Like when I send you the answer, I'll send it to the trouble ticket and I'll send it to your email directly. So look for the one that says dale.larson@utah.edu. And we can go back and forth with that. Okay, so like Australia banned cell phones, and Salt Lake City school districts are like banning cell phones. So there must be something to this. And a lot of it is like social media or short form media as you talk. I'm not sure. Ooh, there's another database. Like short form might be jargon related to communication. But I'll show you how to add all of those keywords as we go. So what we would start out with is like the library catalog advanced search, because that searches across all these different disciplines, including public policy, law, and things like that. But I'll show you how to break it down into subjects first. But this is a worthwhile place to try some of the strategies that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you a few databases. Make sure you're logged in here. But the databases go by subject. So the first one I want to go to is education, because they're the people that typically write about stuff like this. And I can just find my education favorite databases by doing that. And so here's our first one. The great thing about education full text is a lot of it is K through 12 teachers and administrators, and they have access to doing research with a protected population, students' ages. I guess they're just like 18 is when you become not protected. So kids, they're protected by the United States. So let's go to advanced search. So in this one, since a lot has been written about this, we would want to narrow down over time. And we want, I don't know if we want peer-reviewed and full text, but those are things. And I'm going to say for the past 5 years, so it's like COVID-ish. And then I would put in, you could just do short form. Hey, look at that. They did use the content, the short form media. I'm just going to do short form. Well, or short form video. So the reason that you put it in quotes is it's looking for the keywords, and the quotes stick those keywords together more reliably than just if you had it out there. Ooh, I didn't think about attention span. Reading comprehension, yeah, focus and attention span. Okay, I'm getting off into the weeds. But I can also add or social media or TikTok. I guess Reels would be one. Vines might be another one. Whoops, I misspelled TikTok. Spelling counts, because it's not going to look for synonyms. But every time you come up with another one, you could add it. Instagram or YouTube. And then, so if we do a search, what it's going to do is, I forgot a quote there. It's going to look for this phrase in all the education literature, then it's going to look for this phrase, and then it's going to look for this phrase, and it's going to send back any that have one of these in there, if that makes sense. So when we do that first search, there's 13,000. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go back to advanced search, and now we want to put in our population. In education full text, this one's, it's pretty easy to say that it's kids, but let's do children, and then they'll have like synonyms in here. Oh, they did put kids. Children or adolescents. I think you wanted to have young children, so let's get rid of adolescents. Or child. So what it's doing here is out of those 13,000 results we got from there, it's doing this and so out of those 13,000 results, then find stuff that has the population defined. Most literature these days defines the population that they're sampling. Hey, that narrows it down to 2,000. And you could start to go in and look for findings in there. You can also go into the filters. I looked on the wrong side. And you can see like, what are they talking about? Social media, children, research funding. So you could start looking at all these different things that people were looking at. But we can also add some more keywords. So let's add. So I found some. I was like, it says it was reading comprehension or reading skills or reading fluency, or focus was a word that you had had. I don't know if I would put out brains, but I was like, would it be like abilities or learning? How would that be measured? Because they don't measure the brain, they measure like outcomes, like attention span. So as you come up with keywords, keep it in notes. I have it on notes over here. And so every time you come up with new keywords, I'm going to save that. Okay, so now it's looking, out of just the 200 left, it's going to look in these. And I've had some, it increased it. Okay. So English acquisition, data, sense making, consent, hearing screening, materialism. So what you get to do is you get to take each one of these that look like they're kind of close to what you're looking at, and then you can use that to support evidence for what you want to say. It's likely that there'll be an article maybe that talks exactly about what you want, but I think we'll find that there's more and more articles that kind of support little elements of what you're talking about. Oh, unhealthy attitudes for eating. Oh, meaning making. So say, for example, you find one. You can get the full text typically. Oh, here, under the View It button. So if you find one that's good, you can do it. Find the full text. Our catalog is suffering today, but here you can see all these links that might send you to the full text. If you can't find the full text, email me the citation. How do you do that? There's a little citation generator for all of these. So you could just send this to me, and I can help you track it down. And if you need a lot, I can show you a service that will do it automatically for you. So let's take this same search, and I want to look at a different database. So this one, education, and you can try all these different keywords as you go. But let's do that, another one. Let's look at psychology. So PsycInfo, instead of looking for, is this going to port out? No, it's not. Sometimes it moves the keywords over for you. So what you can do is, instead of the education, we can look at psychology, which is all interested in brains and things like that, but also learning and things like that. So let's do the same search, but this time we're looking in the psychology literature. I want to find past 5 years. Ooh, so there's like modeling, perspective. So again, you're going to have to glean through. Oh, look at there, child health outcomes. Oh, they're using my keywords, but it's not the kids' focus. There's some that are more grim than others. Hey, interventions for mental health outcomes, problematic social media use. So this might be something that you're interested in. Just look in the abstract, and they'll, oh, look at there. There's another one, cognitive dissonance. That's another keyword that we could use. Social media and healthy behavioral strategies, all sorts of great keywords that you can use in there. Okay, what do we want to do when we want to find the best of the best? Ooh, quick side note. There's a database called PAIS International. This is where you're going to find case studies of people banning social media or banning phones. So let's do smartphone ban or banning. And this is where you'd find examples of like why people did it. Oh, or it could be, this one doesn't have it at all. Could be What are academic keywords? So this is my AI Gemini, but you could use ChatGPT or any of the other ones. What are academic keywords related to the banning of cell phones in K through 12 schools? So you can use some of these keywords back in. Whoa, there's all sorts of smartphone bans. So there's engagement, academic performance, distractions. So there's one keywords that we came out with: learning outcomes, multitasking, memory, learning environment. So there's all sorts of different directions you could go with PAIS. Last one I want to show you is Scopus. So if we find that we have a good set of keywords, is this going to remember my search that I did? Scopus, hey, it kind of did. Scopus allows you to look at all of the media in scholarship, but it allows you to search by impact. Let me show you what that means. So this one, I'm not looking. I'm just going to look in the abstract for all these. So you don't have to just look open text. You can focus. OK, so, and then I'm going to come up to the pandemic. Whoa, OK, so we have 1,000 articles. How do we know which ones are the best? You can sort by date newest, and you can see what's going on right now. But you can see in the last 5 years which ones have been cited the most. That's what this is over here. Scopus does this really well, and Web of Science. Google Scholar does this too. But here, this one was so important that these 289 articles published since 2022 couldn't exist unless they cited this one. So here we got like body image. That was a big deal with Instagram. Cyberbullying. So there's all these different things going on that have the keywords that we're looking at. And you can go through those and look for something that you're interested in. So say, for example, that's a book. There's an article. So say, for example, you wanted this one. Here's this Find It again. Or you can read the abstract here, and then the View PDF is the same as the Find It button. And it'll send you to the article. If you run stuck and you can't get the full text, let me know. You could just send me like the title, because this one it's harder to get the full text of the articles. But so this is like crash course in your topic. Change your keywords around and look for things that you're interested in particular, but let me know how it goes.